Well, Emma looks so concerned, so shocked, with Jay in the background. Well, we'll tell you how we got to this way and why Emma looks like she looks. So, anyway, as many of you should know, through the Degrassi Emma relationships and the Emma real character study I did on my video, links will be in the description, I promise you, is that basically Emma as a character basically had a major shift change in the fourth season of Degrassi. So basically, season one, she was portrayed as being Snake's daughter who gets in over her head over the fact she thinks she has a boyfriend over the internet, but it's a middle aged man who wants to take advantage of Emma and basically tells Emma to be quiet and all that. Emma was only 13, and that was when catfishing didn't hit the lexicon, popular lexicon. So basically, Emma then in season one is upset over her friend Manny's being on the spirit squad. Although a lot of people said that it was jealousy, it might have been just for the fact that Emma feels like cheerleaders are sexualized objects. Despite Paige saying that we have boys on the squad too. Do you really have boys on the squad? I don't think you do. I've seen Spirit Squad and all that, and Fire Squad and all that, and I don't think we've seen a lot of boys. But anyway, no, it's about the sexism. It's not about the gender, it's about sexism. But of course, Emma comes into her own overbearingness in season two when she's upset over the fact that her mom's dating her teacher. I mean, that's fair. I mean, Emma is worried about how people will perceive her and basically think that Mr. Simpson's going to be protecting Emma at all times. Emma doesn't feel comfortable with this. I mean, what if Spike was dating a non teacher? But anyway, Emma decides to rebel in a sense, but she's okay with Snake and Spike getting married. Unfortunately, Spike wants to abort a baby, and Emma has a fit. Even more so when Spike says, I don't want another mistake. Whatever. Geez, Spike. But anyway, yeah, so Emma is lucky that Spike and Snake are going to keep the baby, and Emma wants a sibling. And then in season three, she wants to know about her father after the fact that basically her, her new sister or brother will be born. But Spike doesn't help matters by saying, I'm not discussing it. End of story. But and then Snake said she's going to find out eventually. And find out she did. She ended up going to Stoville and finding out that he was a mentally deficient person. That wants to know what happened. Spike is of no help to Emma. Snake calmly tells Emma that basically the situation with Shane and all that. Shane wants to be there for the baby, but his parents didn't want him around. So basically, they wanted to get rid of him. And when he took acid and fell off the tracks, either on purpose or by accident, his parents had the out to basically get rid of Shane and get on with their lives. Emma is upset that Spike hadn't said anything. And, Snake said Spike should have told you sooner. So anyway, Emma reconnects with her father, even though that we never hear about Shane after this episode. I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, Emma has relationship problems. Sean wants to break up with her and basically join the Candy Bandits in Jay's gang, basically impressing them. Emma is angry at Sean, mostly not just because he broke up with her, but because Sean is better than being in a gang. I think Emma had feelings that Sean could be a better man. Nope. So Sean steals Snake's laptop while he was recovering from chemo. Emma wants to destroy him. Basically, her acts of retaliatory action basically meant that she did it to destroy Sean, not get Snake's laptop back. But in the end, Sean does confess to his crimes to Simpson. Emma is with Chris. Emma has to deal with her friend Manny being over-sexualized and Emma being worried about it, even though Manny says that Emma's just jealous. And then Emma is upset over the fact that Manny wants Emma to be with Chris, even though Emma thinks Chris has a girlfriend. And then Manny gets with Craig, who is basically Ashley's squeeze. So basically, Emma is upset over the fact that May would be so hypocritical. And Emma is right. Emma was not being hypocritical in season 3 when she hooked up with Chris. Manny was just being stupid. So anyway, yeah. And then Emma does defend Manny when she wants to abort the baby that she and Craig had conceived. She says, I agree with you, Craig, by the fact that, what she's doing is wrong, but basically it's her body. And if she wasn't my best friend, I'd be furious. I personally think that Emma probably was talked down from the ledge by Spike. So anyway, in season 4, Emma and Chris are confirmed to be broken up. Emma is not over Chris. So basically, she wants to destroy Liberty and Chris's relationship because she's thinking that if Chris couldn't do it with Emma, what will happen with Chris and Liberty? Her jealousy gets her into deep trouble and basically gets Manny and Liberty to make her persona non grata. Emma is left alone, and then Emma tries to pick up on popularity by being part of Paige's collecting to destroy Rick. It seemed like a good idea, silent protest, the Orange Ribbon campaign. It worked. Unfortunately, it worked too well, and the students basically took matters in their own hands by destroying Rick. I like the fact that, the students, well, the students were probably fueled on by the fact that the administration told them to stay out of this Rick Murray situation. So basically, Emma sees that Rick wants to give money to the cause. She pushes it aside, but when she looks at the dollar signs, she can't help it. Alex rips up the check and tears them both a new one. Basically, Emma tells Alex, what do you know about domestic violence? And basically, Alex says she lives it because her mother gets affected by it. I mean, Emma had no idea Alex had these problems. We didn't know that. Like, Alex had a point of domestic violence, but violence is not the answer. It's especially when Alex tries to beat up on Rick. Emma says enough is enough. It protects Rick. Unfortunately, Paige's clique takes it as a sign that Emma feels sorry for him, the beatings he took. So basically, the cause and the friendship is over. Emma tells Rick, basically, what I did was because I had to do the right thing, despite what Paige and her clique said. And basically, Rick takes it as that. But unfortunately, Rick then starts to get flirty with Emma after realizing Emma is perfect for him. Holding her hand, whispering, this is for you at the quiz competition. Man, Rick, come on, please. And then, of course, Rick trying to steal a kiss from Emma, but Emma said, no way. I protected you out of pity. Get a clue. Now, there could be an alternate theory to why Rick might have been with Emma. Rick probably thought that Emma was being brainwashed by Paige's clique. I think Rick figured that Emma was being told to not have feelings towards Rick, and basically brainwashing Emma. Emma was being brainwashed. Emma just wanted to belong. After all, she lost her best friends. So basically, Rick decides to take the gun, shoot Emma, try to shoot Emma, but Sean saves the day and all that. Weird as it sounds, the next few episodes, Emma doesn't seem like she's depressed and all that. But unfortunately, there's always a deep, dark secret. And I know this is the episode title. So anyway, it feels like she's going to hook up with Jay and maybe she'll be better and all that. I don't know why she would be with Jay. I mean, I know that she had no inkling that Jay was responsible for, Rick pulling the gun on Jimmy, when in fact, Jimmy had nothing to do with the paint and feathers prank. It was just bitter Jay and Alex. But I mean, come on, Emma. Gee. And you can tell that Emma might be suffering because, why would she be with a troublemaker like Jay? I mean, Sean was a troublemaker too, but Of course, in the scenes, you saw how Spike and Snake react to how Emma has been withdrawn, and they need to do something about it. But the strange thing is, why aren't they begging Emma for help? Maybe Emma might take the help. Maybe she won't. Who cares? So anyway, of course, I didn't include the scene when Perino talked to her about her failing grades. I thought Perino was a big giant dick, if you ask me. So anyway, Emma feels like she's suffering. She's suffering inside, and basically she doesn't want to tell people that she's not okay. I think Emma basically, her mind is basically that of a persona. Emma's persona is taking over her logical thinking, saying that she has a persona. Emma clearly isn't thinking straight, that the tragedy, the shooting has affected her. She basically puts on a brave face for everyone because everyone figures that Emma's okay, but Emma's not okay. Emma has been suffering, and it's just not good. So when you look at things from a certain angle, it's like, why would Emma want to go down the ravine with Jay and do that? I mean, she probably just wants attention. She probably just wants to feel that everything's okay. But what she's doing is really wrong. And in those clothes, I mean, if Emma was in normal clothes, I think they would be less concerning. But they said something's fishy. Because why would Emma wear a dress outside at 2 in the morning? She basically said that she couldn't sleep. She had to deal with the tragedy and all that. I mean, it's plausible that people need to walk it off. But in that outfit and all that, I know something suspicious. So it's basically she played Snake and Spike like a fiddle and is happy about her bracelet. And just when you think, oh, Emma's back to normal and she's so happy about it, things change. You know, Emma's got her confidence and now she's kissing random guys. Mostly because she sees Jay kissing a few other girls and all that. And Emma feels jealous. Okay, fair enough. And then basically, Jay is creeping up on Emma. Snake figures something fishy is going on and saying that there's something really wrong with the shooting going on. And now you're kissing random guys. Even though Nate is her co star, things look decent. But then again, she may have caught something and she has a sore throat. She can't really perform her lines. So she gets orange juice from JT. But she's still with Jay. Manny figures that Emma is basically with Jay. Not because she likes Jay, but because she gets a thrill out of it. Yeah, and Manny tells Emma basically, what she's doing is wrong. And then, of course, the gonorrhea thing. And then things look bad. Like Emma realizes she's just, what did she just gonorrhea? Because with Amy and Alex out of the picture, Emma could be next. Manny says that basically, if you have a conscience, you won't kiss Dracula. I mean, I know that Emma basically wants to do it because that's her acting thing. She has to act like she has to do it. But unfortunately, everyone found out and basically Emma's left on a lonely island. Now, despite the fact that Jay does tell her, and I don't know why I didn't put this, but Jay said that you have virtue and all that. Emma says, no, I don't. Emma realizes what she did is wrong and that she needs to make better choices in life. And I'm glad she did wrong. And she feels that she went against her own morals and all of that. And basically, she hated herself for being the type of person she's been fighting against. But that's what tragedy does to you. That's what PTSD does to you. It makes you a person that you shouldn't really be, but you seem to be. So basically, Emma's innocence was basically taken away in this storyline. And it brought to light the fact that Emma did admit she completely dropped the ball on a lot of things. And she took responsibility, which is great. I like that. So, of course, you got to figure out that why was Emma the way she was? Was Emma basically secretly punishing herself for how she handled the Rick Murray situation? It's possible. I feel that it's a possibility within the realm of things that Emma was upset at herself because, she basically started this whole silent campaign to destroy Rick. And then, of course, Rick had the bowling done to him that she thought she should never have seen, especially with him being outside the dot. But when it comes down to it, it's like Emma may have felt guilt over that, but the students also have a sense of responsibility over the fact that they may have overdid it. They overcompensated. And I know that Emma probably felt terrible about herself and the fact that she was without friends. The only people she could hang out around was Toby, Rick, and Heather St. Clair, that being on the Wacky Brain team. But I mean, Emma learned her lesson and all that. She knew she had to be perfect because that was her persona. And unfortunately, her persona had to change. And you'd be thinking, okay, well, this will be a turning point for Emma. It kind of did. Unfortunately, though, season 5 would turn out to be very dark for Emma. She has a crush on Peter. Peter basically blackmails Manny. And, Emma takes Manny into her home because Manny's parents kicked her out. But then Emma decides to go against Manny's wishes and go for Peter. She wanted to be loved. She wanted somebody around her life. Unfortunately, that secret relationship with Peter, coupled with the fact that Snake cheated on Spike with Hatzalakos and an eating disorder brought on by Manny, saying that we need to lose weight for a role. I mean, you got to blame Manny for that because maybe that sparked something in Emma. Who knows? But of course, Emma goes to the hospital for eating disorder, and she gets back together. Season 6, she starts off badly too, as Sean comes out of the picture, comes back out of the blue. I didn't anticipate that. So basically, she has to make a choice: Peter or Sean. The choice was obvious. It was Sean. Only because Peter basically framed Sean for drugs in an attempt to get Emma to stay with him. Kind of a dumb move, Peter. Real gauche move, Peter. So basically, Emma decides to go with Sean, I guess, despite Peter and all that. Emma and Sean have a decent relationship, but then he decides to go to the army, and Emma is upset that Sean didn't want to figure her in his plans. So basically, she was left boyfriendless, and then season 7 pops up, and she's got a lot on her plate. Basically, Sean hasn't called back or no correspondence, and Snake is in trouble because of what he did to Darcy. Supposedly did to Darcy, but Darcy, of course, lied. But basically, what I think is that, she went with Damien, but Damien cheated on her with Liberty. And Emma didn't blow off at Liberty because, she did that to Liberty in season 4. And then basically said that, I couldn't break a friendship. And Damien's the one at fault. And then, but season 6 also brought a very vindictive Emma. Because when JT got stabbed at a birthday party thrown by Emma and Manny for Liberty's benefit, basically, she felt upset and she felt guilty that this should never have happened to JT. And I know that Manny basically didn't want to have the time to set with Emma. She moved back home because of the tragedy. I think Emma was pissed off that Manny wasn't listening to her. She makes a point to get mad at Lakehurst. Simpson told her that basically her anger is not at Lakehurst, it's at Manny. And basically, Emma and Manny make up. Emma has that relationship with Kelly in college and wanted to hang on to the friendship of her, Liberty, and Manny. And it didn't work out. Liberty and Manny left to do their own things. Emma was trying to make friends, trying not to be bland, Emma, as everyone seems, and it fell on deaf ears. And she ended up marrying Spinner. And we all thought, okay, it might be a one-off thing. But Throwback Thursday came, she still married to Spinner. What did she see in that guy? So basically, this was the turning point in Emma's character development. And also, you got to remember, Emma wasn't really the cause girl after this Rick Murray situation. Maybe a few causes here, a few causes there. Except for the Purple Dragon cause in season 7 and the recycle thing in season 9. Emma wasn't really involved in those things, those crusades. Maybe the Rick Murray situation wrecked her. I don't know. I just don't know with Emma. And now you know about Emma's story. Spinner's story concludes next episode.